So on Najib's final bid to try to get himself out of the rut, what is his defense lawyer punya strategi? Again, Shafi strategi telur. Nak try to fault the federal court for not conducting the proceeding on his final appeal without bias. Okay, unreasonable kena federal court. First things first, number one, as far as the accused is concerned, he is responsible for the strategy of his own defense. Any accused is responsible for his own strategy. He can decide to go in for any trial without representation, or he can decide to be with one lawyer and change another. He can change a lawyer every week. Up to him. If his strategy is strategy telur, court will not interfere. You have a right to change your lawyer, to apply, to appeal, whatever. And court will take its time to decide and allow whether you want to do this or want to do that. But the court has set the date. At the time when Najib punya decision by the Court of Appeal was not in his favour, he's supposed to go to jail, but he managed to get a stay of execution. Again, there was nothing unfair. At all points, despite being convicted by the High Court, he was still free roaming around because he got a stay of execution. Lepas tu, court set, and I think there's at least 8 months or more that he had all the time to prepare. Prepare bukan prepare untuk kes baru. Prepare is actually to raise doubts about the previous findings of the lower courts, Court of Appeal, and also Justice Nazlan punya findings. Now, the counsel throughout was Shafi. Masa Court of Appeal pun Shafi. There is no rhyme or reason for Najib to change the solicitor. Tak ada sebab. But he still decided to do so, and he decided to do so at the 11th hour. So, that's not the fault of the court. Court dah set the time. You don't have to change your counsel at the 11th hour. You can do it earlier. Why at the point when you dah kalah you punya appeal kat Court of Appeal, why did you not hire a new lawyer if you think Shafi is incompetent or cannot bring about your new narrative? So, at the end of the day, you have that amount of time to decide how you want to shuffle or want to change lawyer or tak mau pakai lawyer. You can also decide on what narrative you want to carry. You had that time. That was given to you. It was informed in advance. So therefore, as far as the accused is concerned, he is entitled to get solicitors more than one pun. Tapi tukar macam mana pun, dia entitled to go on whatever narrative dia nak. And the fact that the court granted him the permission to appeal, he should already be thankful. Now, in between that, you nak tukar narrative bila-bila, you nak tukar judge bila-bila, suka hati. But you do so at your own peril or to your own advantage. You decide how you want to play it. It is your strategy and only your own. The court doesn't get involved in it. The prosecution doesn't get involved in it. It is your strategy on how to defend. Fact is, Najib has been found guilty by 4 judges. First judge came up with the 800 over page punya verdict to say why he's guilty on all 7 counts. And that is upheld by the 3 judges of the Court of Appeal on all 7 counts. They all came up with their reasoning, and it is in writing. It can be checked, it can be reviewed, and Shafi had all the time to raise any doubts on the findings. But obviously, we all know what's Najib's tactic, because his Arab narrative fell apart, is in tatters, because it defies logic and it does not corroborate with the paper trail and the evidence tendered by the prosecution, which is, there's no doubt on it. And because of that, the judges easily convicted and even upheld the conviction up to the appeals court level. 4 judges already found him guilty. So, they need to change strategy. So, at the 11th hour, they decided they cannot go on this Arab narrative anymore. They want to go after the judge. They want to show that, the judiciary is tainted. So, they make allegation, fitnah. Nazlan dapat 1 million lah. Appeal MACC pun sama-sama pun kata tengah investigate just to raise doubts. Lepas tu, after a while, when Nazlan also reported police, made a police report about the allegation, they know that's not going to go far. It cannot go far. They did not know what to do. They were looking for things. And at the 11th hour, they decided that they want to go after Nazlan for conflict of interest because Nazlan was the counsel of Maybank. Suka hatilah you nak tukar narrative you. You tukarlah apa narrative pun. But your appeal earlier was based on Arab tales yang the courts tak beli. So, bila sampai time, you now request, boleh tak you nak amend you punya appeal because you nak tukar appeal you sikit. So, court kata okay, boleh dengar. Court agrees to hear your appeal. Court tak agree to your appeal but to hear it. Okay? And you come up and you kata Hisham Potek masuk and langsung tak touch on the Arab narrative. Tak ada dah. Now, they want to go after Nazlan. And they want to adduce new evidence to masuk. So therefore, the court, federal court, agreed to hear it. Okay, nak masuk apa? So sekarang ni, when they tendered the evidence about Nazlan, being a former counsel of Maybank, the court is not convinced because apa kena mengena Nazlan as counsel Maybank? So what? Even if he had a hand in the setup of SRC and the granting of loans for SRC, that is not the matter of the crime. The crime is Najib squandered money from SRC. It's got nothing to do with Maybank or the loan that Nazlan kalau assist Maybank to do for SRC pun. Tak kena mengena. It is clearly a delay tactic and a distraction. So it is an abuse of the court punya proses. And the federal court, being the highest level of the court, is not going to allow it. Justice delayed is justice denied. You were given all your time. You want to do this, you want to pull this stunt. The court is not entertained. The court is not going to oblige. And the court says there's no basis, it was rejected. That is the right of the court. A 5-member bench rejected that. Bila dah reject, checkmate lah untuk Hisham Potek. What is he going to do? Because he did not prepare. He came at the last minute to try to adduce evidence to attack Justice Nazlan to say why the proceeding was defective. He's got to go on the integrity part because he cannot go on the facts of the case because facts of the case dah koyak oleh 4 earlier judges. So, kena pakai Hisham Potek. Why Hisham Potek? Why tak boleh Syafi? Tak boleh lah because Syafi has been on the Arabian tales all this while. Sekarang ni nak tukar narrative, then it becomes believable. Pakai lawyer lain and lawyer lain lah yang menggunakan another narrative which is Nazlan is conflicted. Nak try nak buat macam tu. Jadi bila tak boleh jam, so now to further the narrative that the courts are unfair, Hisham Potek minta lah postponement, well knowing that the court will say no to the postpone. Most probably, kalau nak postpone pun, kalau dapat postpone pun, they will try to pull up something and make the court say no lagi. The more no the court says, the more they can showcase to the public and their supporters that the court is unfair to Najib and not giving him due justice. This is what they are trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. They tried this daripada dulu. So, the court did not allow that. And bila tak boleh, you see how vicious they are. They go after Justice Mamun punya husband, FB dia lah, itulah. They attack even the CJ. It does not matter because they will do whatever to vilify the judiciary, to taint the judiciary supaya credibility is questioned. And they are going on this trajectory until now. So, itu pakai Ziko. Last case, Ziko tak boleh present. And kata court unreasonable for not giving a postponement. Now, as far as the lawyer punya requirement is concerned, syarat lawyer, any lawyer kalau nak ambil the case of the accused, he must do so with the belief that he can defend the client, okay, and he has time to do so. That there's ample time for him to do so, and he can defend the client based on the date set by the court. Now, postponement is something that you can ask after that. You may get or you may not get. It is the prerogative of the court. If the court deems fit, the court will give postponement. Kalau tak, they will say no. So now, Hisham Potek get 1 month. Now, the fact that he agreed to defend Najib, he agrees to the fact that he's able to defend Najib with or without the extension. So kalau without extension 1 month, so is Hisham Potek menipu? So to me, Hisham Potek menipu. Because kalau you kata you cannot do it in 1 month, then why do you take the case? Why did you agree to take the case and allow Najib to tukar lawyer when he had Shafi all this while? Kenapa Shafi tak prepare to go on that narrative? So kalau you tak boleh, then you expect kena ada postponement baru boleh. That is bersyarat. You can't agree to take a case bersyarat for baik. You did not agree to take Najib's case with the condition that you get an extension. Or you did not agree to take Najib's case and commit that you can defend him on condition that the court allow you to adduce new evidence which is not related to the case but about the judge, and the court will agree, subject to that baru you boleh defend Najib. No, there was no such representation. There was no such thing. And by defaulting there, Hisham Potek has run foul of the laws with regards to the lawyers. Dia pun dah salah. Hisham Potek pun dah salah for taking the case. Najib punya strategi telur, last minute nak tukar lawyer. That's not the court's problem. Why should the court move the dates? Because you decide to change your narrative, change your lawyers, and you are trying, your circus is your circus. It's to your own peril and to your own detriment, not the courts. Court dah bagi masa untuk you defend. Berapa kali? And on your final appeal, you decide to fool around. All this while, what were you doing? You were busy campaigning here and there, politicking here and there. You were not focused on your case. You decide to change last minute. So court does not have to entertain that. Court did right. And I'm just disappointed that Shafi comes with this narrative to say why the court is unfair. Tak betul, very wrong, unprecedented punya decisions. No. And the court was even prihatin to not allow Hisham Potek to just abandon Najib at the 11th hour. You should be able to defend. Because when you took on the case, means you represented that you could. How can the court allow this guy to just go off? That would be unfair to Najib. Also, what can Najib do? Did Najib request for, okay, tak payah Ziko nak Shafi balik? Well, kalau sempat, court would have allowed that. Tapi, no extension of time lah. So, sejak bila pula now that, is salah court for not giving an extension of time? Did the court, did the law, did the prosecution cause the delay? Is the prosecution responsible for benda yang yang dia kena tukar narrative and deprive them of justice because of that? There was no such things. Jadi, you can try your best lah. You try to come back with the sandiwara. I don't think the new bench of judges are dumb. They will see through, and I look forward to what the prosecution will respond. I look forward to what Sintabaran has to respond. I believe he may respond. His response will include all the things I'm saying now. And Najib will be quashed. Lepas Sintabaran respond saja, everybody will see that Najib punya case gone. He will stay in Kajang lah. Habis cerita. And the court decision will ensue in due course. And the decision will just quash him once and for all. Tetapi Najib punya narrative dengan Shafi narrative will continue that this government, that this court is unfair, injustice. I look forward to see what Zahid will respond masa tu. Zahid pun masalah kan, tak tahu nak buat macam mana. So they now have to come with the narrative that even this new federal court pun tainted juga, biased juga. Why? Because they are led by the same CJ. This will be the narrative lah lepas ni. Tak percaya tengok.
Do not forget to click like and leave a comment and share this video with your friends if you enjoy it.